All right, so this is the Nordic curl, also called the Harrop curl. Basically, this is one that I've been trying to get stronger at for quite some time, and I've found that there's particular ways you can approach this that sort of benefit you a little bit better. First off, this machine, or this setup, doesn't get me as close as I would like. I have explored with basically playing with weights on the backs of my legs. I'll put a photo of that either to the left or right here. It's been helpful. Also, just like jamming my heels under something that doesn't allow me to fall has been quite good as well. You basically just need something that's going to hold you in place. Those little attachments that go into like squat racks have been really helpful as well. And initially when people have first started these, they maybe just go and then they might catch themselves and then pop and then shoot themselves back up. But I feel like there's an area, obviously where we hold tension, and then we lose it because we don't have the strength there. And then we're just basically falling, trying to catch ourselves, when in fact we could hold the tension a lot better if we just find where it feels like we're working, and then we can hinge by basically keeping our glutes nice and tight, and then bringing the chest down to the ground. So I'll perform a set now. Oh, so at the moment, I'm working with about 4 reps for 4 sets. Trying to keep my RPE, so like my rate of exertion, at around 8. So probably having about 2 left in the tank. That way my reps are clean and I'm able to sort of get consistency across my sets as well. It is really intense, especially when we do it well, that I basically go down, hit that point of tension, and then basically just like hold it for a brief second, just so I can like establish that as like my end point. And then from that point, we're just increasing the intensity or the duration of the intensity that we've then elicited to ourselves by lowering down, coming back up to that gradient, and then using the hamstrings. Some people, I've experienced definitely in the past, contraction of the hamstrings has been quite difficult, like actually feeling it in that area. Doing these, you'll definitely fucking feel it. You can also feel it in your calves as well. I think it's important to sort of feel it more in your hamstrings, how you can potentially do that. So if you're pointing your toes down like that, then you're going to be engaging more of your calf. So I tend to have my foot in flexion, basically pointing towards the roof, and then driving the heel back to the bum, and that's going to engage more of the hamstring there. I'll jump into set 2. Also, when doing these, obviously it's maybe like 1.5 meters off the ground, maybe 1 meter. It can be quite dangerous. So I suggest putting a large block here. I've just got a 24-inch block basically on its top end, and basically that just allows me to not only have a reference point for the depth that I want to go to, but also it's just like a safety, just mitigating risk as much as possible so we can remain consistent. So for this set, what I'm going to try and focus on is, first off, when I'm lowering down, that brief pause, my hinging technique, and then as I hinge back, trying not to pull so much just yet, but just bring the chest back up and then finish off the repetition. So it's in like 3 movements. So we go across, hinging down, hinging back, and then pulling back again. If you can sort of segment into that, there's no way you won't feel this exercise. So just go within your means at the moment. So that's probably my extreme. I'm hinging. I'm trying to contract back to this full position, and then I'm raising back. That's fucking tough, man. Yeah, I've pushed it too hard on that first rep. A great thing about strength training as well is it can be quite reflective. So like, don't just think about going through each exercise and wanting to finish it for the sake of finishing it. Like, use every set as like a reflecting on how you went in that set. So it's like, what could I have done better to maybe feel that better? Okay, for the first rep, brilliant. It was really tough, but I think I went far too hard on the intensity. As you could see, my quality across those 4 reps was very different. So I want to try and maintain consistency, do one really good rep, and then try and maintain that. So it's not about doing 4 reps, it's not about doing 10 reps. What it is, it's about doing 1 rep really well, and then replicating that again, and again, and again. And it's through this quality work that we really find the results. So my improvements on this set would probably be ease back on that first set when I have the strength, and then continue on the quality reps across those 4 sets. How else could you, I suppose, question how well your sets were? Like, could I feel it better? Maybe what could I do better to feel it better? Or what could I do different, to feel it better? Is this weight too much or not enough? Little things like that, and it's slowly through this reflection and review of every set, you can really gauge where you are and if you are pushing yourself or if you need to push yourself a little bit harder. In between these sets, I'm doing about 3 minutes rest. I've been exploring just with my first 2 movements of every session, having rest periods around 3 minutes. It's been a little bit more intense. Like prior to this, I did 4 sets of 8 high bar squats for 90 kilos. My goal at the moment is to get to 100 kilos for 8 reps, high bar, RP 8. And then, so really trying to revel in that, those rest periods. Sometimes it can feel like, oh shit, what am I doing? But I feel like if you really push yourself, then you do sit in that rest and you're like, thank fuck, I've got 3 minutes. So 3 minutes with these, and then towards my other, like the accessories of the session, I may go, 90 seconds, 60 seconds, 45 seconds, depending on what it is and the level of importance or priority that exercise has within my goals and my program. That's 3 minutes, I'll jump back in. Alrighty, so for this set, trying to maintain a moderate intensity throughout the entirety of 4 reps, but make them clean. Slowly down. I reckon that's me there. Oh, my lower back is fried lately. Last one. I've been cycling more and more lately, and maybe about like, not heaps just yet, but I want to start cycling to work more consistently, and it's maybe, I don't know, 15 kilometers to work, maybe about a half an hour ride. I want to do that at least 3 days a week, so which is more often than not. See if I can get my VO2 max to around 55. At the moment, I think roughly, take with a grain of salt when it comes to your watches or your wearables, but it says I'm around 50 VO2 max. Again, never been tested, but probably closer to maybe 48. Yeah, get that. So I reckon consistent cycling. At the moment, I just have a single gear fixie bike, running on single speed, not fixed gear. Just getting like a little tool belt because I'm really anxious about popping my tire on the way to work. And then I have like a client in say like 40 minutes and I'm like, fuck, trying to like change a tire on the middle of Sydney on the way to work. So obviously giving myself ample time to get to work, waking up a little bit earlier, maybe around like, I don't know, 5 o'clock, and then having a toolkit on there so I can actually do some maintenance on there instead of just like carrying my bike like a loser. But yeah, in terms of my lower back, I went on a bit of a tangent there. My lower back's been a little bit sore lately, and I think that's from being in like that riding position down like so. It's been quite demanding. I definitely felt it during squats as well. Again, it's not something I'm really that worried about at the moment. It's just probably a bit of load management, exposing myself to that. I do push it on the bike quite a bit, so maybe just involving like some hyperextensions or maybe like some deadlifts into my program, maybe a good idea. Stretching, it's definitely not there. It's just load management at the moment, and definitely building up some strength because I don't have any sort of lower back exercises other than hyperextensions, which I've done maybe only over the last 3 weeks. In terms of this set, I was definitely feeling it. Like that was quite terrible. But again, I'm getting them in. Last set will be four reps. Gonna try and go quite easy and just try and get the quality. My range won't be there at the moment. But again, it's just about contraction, tension. If you're looking to build strength, if you're looking to get bigger muscles, things like that, contract your muscles, create as much tension as you can, and then tense harder and harder and harder. And it's about recruiting those fibers through the exercises that we're doing that are going to elicit a change, that are going to allow you to push harder, recruit more muscles, and ultimately drive a larger stimulus into that area that you're training. So, I haven't, a good one as well. Keep track of your rest periods. And I like video on these. This is the first one, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I like video on these because I'm actually not on my phone during my sets. That is a very positive thing as well. I think there was a study that came out recently. It's like if you're actually distracted by things in between your sets, you have a little sort of a decrease in performance. And as I think it's, even if it's quite small, it's pretty insignificant. It's quite funny to read that though. Maybe use it as evidence to sort of kick yourself up the arse. But I think you could sort of placebo yourself into that and be like, oh yeah, I'm not on my phone, so I'm actually maintaining strength, or I'm not getting weaker. So just believe that. Be like, oh, I'm not on my phone, I'm doing the right thing. And plus, it's for the people around you. Don't be a cuck and sit on your fucking phone in between your sets when you're on a high valued piece of equipment. Nothing worse. And then doing fucking poor lifts. If you're strong as shit and you're on your phone and you're absolutely reveling those rest periods, touche. If I can appreciate you lifting. But if you're fucking sucking ass, wasting your time, hogging a machine, that's on you. And I'm not happy about it. But I won't say anything. I'll just sort of look at you from a distance like a gym arch enemy. All right, last set. So when I'm in this one, I'm really trying to pull my toes up to my knees. Again, nice solid 4 reps here. God, these are fucked at the moment. One more set. Dude, they're tough. I think, yeah, my lower back is so cooked in these that it's sort of failing before I can drive a lot of the stimulus into my hamstrings, which is unfortunate for today, but it's just something to consider in with my training. Again, make slight adjustments, don't change everything. Just as you go, be reactive to how things are coming at you, and then factor that into your programming. Yeah. Just keep smashing them in. I'll target these next week. Have a good one.